Shalom, I'm Rabbi Philip O'Reiner of Congregation Beth David in Saratoga, California, and I'm here today to speak with you a little bit about the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. The Mishnah teaches us that the Rosh Hashanah is actually one of 4 Jewish New Years. However, we learn from Rabbi Eliezer that Rosh Hashanah is the New Year of humanity. In fact, it's the birthday of humanity, following the creation of the world on the 25th of Elul. A midrash based on Rabbi Eliezer's teaching informs us that Adam was created the 6th day of creation, Rosh Hashanah, sinned, was judged by God, and then pardoned all in one day. In consoling Adam, God said to him that just as Adam was judged on Rosh Hashanah, so too would all of Adam's descendants be judged on the day of Rosh Hashanah, and thus we have the rabbinic name for the holiday, Yom Hadin, the Day of Judgment. On Rosh Hashanah, we continue the work we began in the month of Elul of performing tshuva, of returning to God's path and returning to God's ways, on looking into our hearts and into our souls, contemplating the ways in which we have erred and missed the mark in the past year, looking at our relationships and seeing where we may have harmed those whom we love. We seek forgiveness from them and look for ways to improve those relationships. One of the central elements of Rosh Hashanah and the entirety of the 10 days of repentance, as well as the month of Elul, is the blowing of the shofar. Maimonides tells us that the shofar is like our alarm clock. It is supposed to awaken us spiritually to the internal work that we are confronted with by Rosh Hashanah, by the opportunity to awaken ourselves and our souls to these acts of tshuva which we perform, as well as the opportunity for righteous giving and prayer, the ways in which we can tear up the decree against us by God. In addition to the shofar, there are many other symbols, particularly food symbols, for Rosh Hashanah. On the first night of Rosh Hashanah, before coming to Shul, to daven, to pray, we have a festive meal in which we eat foods that remind us of the circular nature of time, the opportunity for new beginnings. The Talmud gives us a list: the kara, the gourd, the karsi, the leek, the silka, which is a beet, tamri, which are dates, and rubia, which is either fenugreek or perhaps black-eyed peas. We put these foods, among others, on the table and recite specific prayers, which you can find in a siddur, that ask God to renew us, to bless our year. All of the blessings are a play on the words, the Aramaic words for the names for these foods. There's also a tradition of eating pomegranate, that our year be as blessed as the multitude of seeds that are in a pomegranate. In many communities, there is also a custom of eating a fish head, or at least having one present on the table, to symbolize the idea that our year should be like the head and not the tail. My favorite food symbol for Rosh Hashanah are the round chalot, the bread that we eat on the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Again, round being a symbol of the circularity of time, of returning once again to the beginning of the year and all of the opportunities that a new year brings for us. There are many customs regarding these round chalot. Some people put dried fruit so that our chalot should be sweet, just as our year should be sweet. Some people put colored sprinkles on the top of the challah. That's a popular custom in our household. And of course, probably the most well-known food symbol for Rosh Hashanah is the eating of tapuchim udvash, of eating apples with honey. Again, the roundness of the apple and the sweetness of the honey together set a stage for us as we enter into a new year. On both evenings of Rosh Hashanah, the first and second evening, it's customary to have these celebratory meals, to recite Kiddush, and on the second night, there's a tradition of having a new piece of fruit that you haven't had over the course of the year on the table to recite a Shehechianu over it, the blessing we recite on reaching new occasions in the year and in one's life. Leading up to Rosh Hashanah and on the day of Rosh Hashanah itself, the customary greeting that we greet one another with is Shana Tova, that we should have a good year, or Shana Tova Umituka, that we should have a good and sweet new year. You may also hear people say Kitiva v'chatima tova, that we should be written and sealed well for the coming year in God's ledger. So on behalf of myself, my family, I wish each and every one of you a Shana Tova Umetuka, a sweet and happy new year. Kitiva v'chatima tova, may you be inscribed and sealed in the book of life, and may this year bring many blessings for you and your family.